Hello YouTube. This printer to the left has no drive shaft right now because I removed it last time. So I'll be replacing the drive shaft with the printer that's right next to it. I gotta first remove it. So I'm gonna show you how to remove it and install a drive shaft on this printer. Also, I'll be installing an ABS sensor, or I may go another route and actually remove the wheel and install the whole assembly with a speed sensor. So I'll see what I'll be doing on that one. To remove the drive shaft, I'll be using my air gun. This is a little Husky kit that I got, just $100. It's a nice that it has a 3-year warranty. So I guess if anything breaks, I could bring it back, and I don't have to really buy extended warranty. So I got a number 15 socket here. This is the type of bolts that are being used to hold down the drive shaft. So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go underneath and I'm gonna show you where they are. Alright, I'm underneath my sprinter arm, looking at the back here. There is 4 bolts down here to remove. They're pretty easy to remove, so that's the number 15. Okay, this is the second piece right here where the horseshoe thing looking. They have like bearings inside. You could actually replace those, but I believe you have to press them out. I actually never pressed them out myself, so I'll be reusing the same thing. So this is the second piece you gotta remove. I'm first gonna leave them on. I'm just gonna remove the drive shaft first, and let those horseshoe things hold my drive shaft in place while I'm actually removing it. Make the job a little bit easier. This is the second set of bolts that you gotta remove. Why I'm showing you this portion is because the drive shaft is actually like 2 pieces, and this is where they actually come together. So in case you just need to replace the front one, you could just disassemble it down here, remove the horseshoe, and then remove that portion from the transmission. Just that single piece, or you could just remove the back piece. And I'll show you actually how you put it back and how you align the holes so they'll all work perfectly. Alright, I got my compressor running. I'm using one of these exterior gas compressors that I got from Harbor Tool and Freight. Works good for me, it's not that loud. And I'm ready to climb underneath and go ahead and remove the drive shaft. I removed the 4 bolts that was in the back, the number 15s. And I removed 3 that's next to the transmission. I could not get to one of them. So I believe the trick is to go ahead and remove the 2 horseshoes. It takes a number 18 socket. I'm gonna remove them, and basically I think it's gonna allow me access. If it doesn't, with my air gun, I'll just use a normal tool to pull it out. But air gun just takes it off in a second. I mean, it's just really amazing. There's like no trouble at all removing it. But this is my 2006 black Sprinter I'm showing you here. I had to get away from the compressor. On this Sprinter, I had no problem accessing all the bolts without even removing the U-joint. So maybe it was just positioned a little bit differently. Alright, there's the back. I removed those bolts. Here's the first horseshoe from the back. The second one on the front, the whole thing removed, because I believe it's not supposed to remove the whole piece. Just like this horseshoe is here, it should have been on the bearing part, but looks like the rubber piece is ripped on that one, so it might be a future problem. So I'll actually replace it. It seems like it's the front portion. I have another piece that I'm gonna put on there from another drive shaft that I have to solve that problem. But anyways, I just gotta get to one bolt, and it's down there. Now that it's bent like this, I believe I'll be able to get it. Anyways, I'll let you know. Alright, I just removed the drive shaft from the bottom of the Sprinter, and this is the tools that I end up using. This primary tool here worked really good. It removed all the bolts except one of them. I could not actually use, and this is actually extended by me trying several different combinations in removing the drive shaft from the transmission, the very top bolt, and it just seems like the body is in the way and the muffler's in the way. If I remove the muffler, maybe I would have got it, or I just need some better wrenches that's bendable, you know. But anyways, this is what I ended up using. It was not that hard. I just used this little tool in the center to remove it. It's a number 15 socket. It reached in there just fine. I used it just like it is. And to finish off the process, I used this little one here. I just put that same attachment there and removed it, and that worked really nice. Right, here's what we have here. The drive shaft to the right is the one that I just removed. I was planning to install this on this van, but I found a few problems with it that's actually solvable with this other spare drive shaft that I have. This is the drive shaft I've removed earlier this year, well actually last year, from my Sprinter. And the problem with this one was that it has, you probably cannot really see it that good. Let's see if I could zoom in. You could kind of see it already rusted, this little part, but it was kind of shiny, and this is actually where it started kind of shaking and vibrating at about 20 to 40 miles an hour, and then actually would disappear and drive nice and smooth. It was only a matter of time before this piece would actually break off. But what I tried to do is I actually just removed this back portion of the drive shaft, which looks fine. There is no horseshoe on it, so there's like none of those things to worry about, and it seems like it has a good piece in the back here. Seems like it's just fine, still gonna last. And I want to show you another piece. There's actually several things that's wrong with it. Here's the horseshoes. I'm not sure if you could see this. You see they're kind of ripped, so they need to be replaced. It could probably be used like this, but temporarily if you're just trying to make it home or something. And this horseshoe right here, it's not even on here because it was completely ripped off. This is not something I did. It was done, and I believe that the cause of the problem possibly is this right here. As you could see, somehow it was rubbing over here too. You could see that little line right there. It's not supposed to be there, so probably because it was ripped like this, it actually messed up this drive shaft. So it was probably, I could imagine, vibrated, at least at low speeds. But anyways, now I won't be using that part because this front part is good. It attaches right there, and I'll end up using this center portion. Of course, it needs to be cleaned up a little bit, and this horseshoe here, it's the rubber pieces that has like bearings inside. It's not the best. They're cracked, but at least they're not ripped. Let's see if this one is ripped. It's also cracked. It seems like it's really close to becoming ripped. I'm also gonna try to tinker and see if I could remove this horseshoe off. Well, actually, it's horrible. It's like, it's so easy to rip it off. Yeah, you could see that. It's pretty bad. But anyways, I'm gonna put this drive shaft together and let you know what's going on with that. Now I'm ready to install the drive shaft on this Sprinter. I'm gonna show you how to do it. Alright, as you could see, I have the drive shaft in place, and I'm using these little 3-ton holding things here to hold the drive shaft up in place. There's no special way of doing it, whatever's comfortable for you, but I positioned it near both horseshoes. That way it's going to be naturally supporting it. So I recommend, whenever you're getting ready to install it from the front to the back, so you're not going to have any problems. And before you align everything, stick the drive shaft kind of like up over there, like on that little cross beam supporting thing right there. That way you're not going to have any problems. First, put that piece in, so you're going to be closer to where you need to be. And then put these support things up here, and you could use anything you want, but these work really well because they already have the curved edge there and they're holding it just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach the front 4 bolts, and then next I'll be attaching this horseshoe U-joint, and then the third one, and then the rear will be last, and that's gonna be a little bit special. So I'll need to guide you guys through it, because you will not be able to exactly align all the bolts until you have to do something. I'll get back to it. Alright, all the bolts are on there on the first shaft. This is the best way of doing it from what I found. I've done several already, but removing it is a lot easier than putting it back together. You don't have to go in specific order, you could just remove it the way you feel like it. But to put it back together, start from the front and don't attach the U-joints, those things right there, it's not even attached, until you have attached that first piece, because sometimes you'll need to remove your little stand here, because you need some room for the top bolt. As you can see, I had to remove mine a little bit. I only have one section standing up. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and attach both of these U-joints, and I'll get back to you. Alright, here we go. The last U-joint is on. And now for the last part. As you can see, I got the piece really close to it, and I have this little thing attaching. None of the holes align, and no matter what you do, you could spin them, they're not going to spin. The trick to this is to go ahead and lift up one rear tire. I will be lifting this one, and then when you rotate the tire, that will rotate and you could align the holes. It's a very easy trick. For those that don't know, they're gonna spend hundreds in getting this fixed, maybe thousands if they get ripped off. But I will show you exactly what you need to do. I'm gonna lift the tire up next, and I'm gonna show you how that thing spins. Alright, here we go. The last portion of the drive shaft is on. However, it is not on the way I actually planned to put it on. As I was telling you guys, I was going to show you exactly how you could spin the rear differential piece by lifting this tire. As you can see, it's slightly lifted off the ground, but it will not spin. There is another trick though. I'm not sure why this one did not work. The next one, it's not as safe as this, but if you could put something under your tires to keep the vehicle from moving. I put something on the front, in the back, and you know, everywhere, so they're not gonna move. You could just put your vehicle in neutral and make sure you don't have no parking brake on. Put it in neutral. Then, because the rear portion is still not attached to the differential, it will spin. You'll just need to spin the actual drive shaft and it will easily spin. That's the trick. I will try to investigate why the rear wheel did not spin. It could be due possibly to this differential being bad. I was getting some noise out of it when I was driving, but I did drive it for 30,000 miles with the noise and it did not do anything. But on my other Sprinter, I lifted this rear wheel up and I spinned it, and it was really easy for me to align those holes. It was a piece of cake, and this one is not doing it. I will try to make a next video on the next van that I have over here for parts. I'm gonna lift one of its sections, one of the rear wheels up. I'm gonna try to rotate it, see if that's gonna make a difference. This is the van that I pulled the drive shaft from, for the van that's over here. And as I was saying, that rear wheel would not spin, even though the drive shaft was not attached. There was nothing holding it back. I tried the left one, I tried the right one, none of them would move. Now look at this. This rear wheel is not attached to the drive shaft, and it's lifted off the ground. And as you can see, look how freely that moves. And I'm not sure if you could see this. I may have to, let me get underneath. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna be spinning it. Look at that. It will spin left, right, all the way around. Does not matter what you do with it. It spins. That's what it's supposed to do. So I was not wrong. You can do it this way. Okay, this is another trick I want to show you guys. As you could tell, it is a neutral. This van does not have the battery. There's no key connected. I want to show you a trick. How can you put this in neutral when there's no key inside? It should not even work. So let me see if I could hold this phone a little differently. Now you can put it in park just fine if you already had a neutral, but look what I'm trying to do. See, it will not go. The trick for that is to get like something like this. You don't have to be exactly, it could be just a long screwdriver, and try to press down. There's something you need to press down on, and I need two hands to do this. Let me see if I could somehow do this. Okay, you could see I actually moved that out of the place by pressing it. Put it back in park. There you go. And you don't have to press it hard. You could just press it in there just a little bit. This comes very useful, especially if you're broke down, your battery's dead, you had it in park and you actually need to put on a tow truck or something. This is a good way to do that. Put a neutral, or if you need to pull the van for some reason, that's how you could do it. If you liked the video that I made and would like to see more future videos, please subscribe. In next video I would like to show you how to remove this rear wheel. I'll be removing all the brake pads, rotor, and the long shaft assembly. It goes all the way into the differential. That shaft has a seal, and it has bearing on there. So also ABS sensor. So I'll be showing you how to attach the ABS sensor, the electrical underneath, how all that is done. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope to see you next time.